YouTube, welcome to Black Crappie. This is a little bit different video than what I normally do here because I'm on my farm here and I have a big giant elm tree that I'm going to be climbing today. I set up a couple ropes in this already, a way to pull me over from branch to branch. This tree has been a problem for a couple years now. So what's going on here is this used to be a four-headed. 3 years ago, I cut that lead out that went up and over the driveway, and you can see all the suckers and stuff. I've been trying to bring it back to life, but what happened is I've got a power line here, and the power company came through and cut a lead, the fourth lead off that is in there. And yes, I am farther away than 10 feet from this power line while I'm working. But here is what they cut off about 15 years ago. And it's all dead inside there. And this tree has not had very much green on it until this year. And then out of nowhere, that entire lead right there died off. Dead. Then this back lead, dead. Over there, dead. I've tried for years to bring this tree back to life, and it's just not been working. So it's time for a complete removal. I wanted to show this if I don't have a digital copy of it, but this is a vintage aerial picture of the farm from back in the 60s, and you can see this is the elm tree right here. That's probably 25, 30 years old then. And then we got the two pine trees here. This is the old house. And then there's the original spring house behind it. And the building that I'm in right now is right here. And both of these buildings got knocked down probably 4 years ago. There's paracord up to that crotch right there for me to climb up and work this half of the tree. And I have some obstacles to work with here, like the power lines here. So I can't hinge that piece to fall this way because it'll fall on there. And then I can't hinge that way because it'll fall there. The plan was to come down and hinge it right there and have it fall this way. And I have a welcome sign here that I do not want to crush. The wind kind of blew it a little bit, but... And then we have this big giant rock here that my grandfather put here from the strip mine. And then you look up, where's the light? There's the light. And we have all this stuff that can fall right here. So it's a little bit interesting. So I'm gonna do it differently than what I was intending. This tree's got some significant weight on this side. Now it won't reach the new building, but it would definitely do some damage to that rock there. Let's see how far back I can get here. All right, so what I did yesterday was I came over here with a throw ball and I got a line, paracord, way up into that crotch right there. And then that comes down and it's tied in right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come over there and I put a weight on it, and the rope is going to come down way out here, which is about 10 feet away from the trunk. So then I decided I'm going to throw another rope over into that crotch right there so that I can grab this when I SRT climb up. I can have this rope to pull me over to that lead because I'm going to be probably 10 feet away from it. Where this crotch goes out, I'm going to come 3 feet below that crotch, at least 3 feet so it doesn't separate, and I'm going to hinge this direct, because all the weight of this lead will take this lead away from the power line. That lead right there, when it comes down, it doesn't come down onto the rock. Now, yes, I have a big tire on here. I think I'm also going to take some round bales and put a round bale on this side of it and a round bale on this side of it, and probably pull this big tractor tire out of the way, because if it hits this corner here, it'll just break that corner off, and nobody in my family will be happy. 47 now. So I'm gonna give it about a half an hour, see if it rains or not. And then I'm gonna get my lifeline up into that top crotch over there, and then get another rope ready to go up over there to tie off that. And hopefully it's only gonna be a couple cuts today. I wanna get this stuff out of here, get it cleaned up. There's a bunch of dead that way. I really didn't wanna climb all the way to the top of it just to make little salad pieces out of it. And I wanna get a better look at it once I'm up in the tree, because I would like to fall at that union right there and get it to come this way, but I don't think there's enough weight in it. So even if I did get a rope in it, this pine tree, all these branches are gonna be in the way of pulling it. And I thought about base tying to this tree. It's a pretty big tree. This tree is actually taller than that one. And it's just, it'd be too tight of an angle just to come down and base tie. So there's a little bit more configuring to going on in this, and I really don't want to drop anything on the power line. I got to get up in this tree. All right, enough talking, YouTube. I'm going to see how far, oh geez, I just unclipped my camera. Don't shut it off. I'm going to see, I'm going to see how far I get into this here today. I don't climb every day. We build agricultural fence, so I'm used to lifting up big heavy wooden posts and throwing things around, but I've been climbing probably at least 2 days a week, sometimes 4 days a week after work, where I'm already exhausted, but I haven't put my gaffs on in a while. So I'm actually gonna SRT up, put my gaffs on, swing over, get into that lead over there, and safely cut that lead down there. And then bring that lead down probably about somewhere into there, just to clear this next lead falling this way. So let's give it a little bit. I'm gonna get my rope set up and we're gonna go from there. Welcome to the beginning and the end of this video and this tree. You can see when it hit the ground, it definitely cracked all the way back, and then that side cracked off here. I got a 36-inch bar on this chainsaw now. West Coast Dogs, West Coast Bark Box, 462C. I love that saw. I run very high test fuel in it, lead fuel. And I made a little camera mount here out of this big giant branch. I've got West Coast Dogs on this 14-inch bar, 194, with a custom exhaust that I made. Then I got the main power horse, 18-inch bar, West Coast Dogs, my handmade custom exhaust, 261C. I love that thing. And I wanted to show, when I cut this thing, it almost barber-chaired. It pulled a big chunk out of here. I saw it cracking and I told him to my dad to pull the Kramer as far as it'll go and pull this tree over. But thankfully, I put 2 grade 800 chains. Now, I'm just trying to climb this just a little bit here. That's where it broke off. And I was standing on this back side of it, which was a good thing. This beautiful, gigantic four-headed monster elm tree. Everybody here on the farm, they love it. And I had to make it hit the ground. And as you can see, this thing is bigger than my 462 with a 36-inch bar on it. So that's going to be fun cutting this stump. No, I'm not even going to put a face cut in it. There's no point. I'm going to cut around it, put some wedges in it, and use the Kramer here to just push this thing over. Hopefully it goes. Well, no matter what, it's going to hit the ground because of gravity. But fortunately, this has been a pretty easy process from start to finish. I completely missed the hay bales and missed the big rock. Paper always beats rock. Doesn't matter how many scissors you have, the paper always wins. So, obviously the tree's on the ground, and if you want to see the whole process, continue to watch this video. It took me probably 5 random days of hours because we had hay going on. It is Independence Day, 250 years. This is July 4th. And it has been a hot week, a very hot week. So, one rule of advice. Eyesight comes before safety. If you can't see what you're doing, you can't be safe. That's how we cut our fingers off. Enjoy the video. Ready?
You don't need to tie it off?
No. I'm angling this way and it's gonna fall towards silo.
Where are you going to jump over there?
I'm going down once I make my face cut.
I don't understand.
Don't worry about it. That thing is so loud. My ears are ringing. All right.
Should that wedge be taken a little bit more this way?
It's going right for Mom.
I understand that. I thought we were aiming for the driveway over here.
Yeah, it's gonna hit over there.
Okay.
Tell Dad where to stand so you can get hit.
Okay, if you want to record this, can you turn your camera sideways and do an actual video?
Okay.
And come stand behind the high lift?
Not gonna hit me?
It's going that way. All the weight's over here.
Got to yell timber.
I'm not a faller. I'm a climber. I made it to the ground. All I had to do was jump. I'm going to take this pulley carabiner here and clip it on the rope and then on the carabiner. I need to back this camera up. There we go. All right, now clip this thing in. But I want this saw on this side. I'm going to take this carabiner, clip it on here. Come on. And then undo this thing. Hey, B, get out of here. And then down the ground it goes. All right, come back to the other side of my lifeline. Let that go. Pull that. All right, hold the lifeline so the saw don't drop. Okay, got it?
Yep.
Hey, did you start this saw for me?
No.
Why?
Tell me to.
But why? Whoa. A little bit of a gaff out there. All right. All right, this thing's in my way, so I gotta cut it out. I think I'm gonna drop down just a little bit more. There we go. Nice and comfy. Now I gotta see if I could see daylight all the way through this. I gotta pull this all out. Because this is only an 18-inch bar. Yes, there's not, I didn't make it all the way through, so I gotta sneak in there and cut the back of this. Alright, let's see if I can get this saw started where it's at. Hopefully I can. What?
2 more inches.
The bar needs to be 2 inches bigger. Uh-huh.
Cut through in part, but I don't think you got through everything.
No. All right. We'll see. Let's just see what happens. Maybe it'll make a hinge. Never know. Little persuasion. Little persuasion. That's crazy. I gotta get this out of here. This wood is hinging. Ridiculous. That little bit was holding it on. That's a pretty big log. All right, time to jump out.
Give me a big smile. Put your arm up. Like, you know, like, yay. Hey! Give me your arm up.
Like that? Is that what you want?
No.
Right.
You see the log falling down there and Dad's sitting.
That's funny. That's funny.
That is so funny.
Kramer? What? What gear? Second. Oh, what the crap. All right, I'm actually really lucky. I have a giant drop zone here. But this next part here, I've got this power line here. It goes up. Now it is still way over here. We're gonna find out what the next move is. What I wanted to do is I wanted to cut this off and have it fall, and then leave that Y right there and all that over there. But it is a little bit interesting here. That's all dead because I'm gonna be up in this thing cutting it. It's like, it's a little bit interesting. Right now my lifeline's right there on a pulley saver that I made in the other video, so you should go check that out. But that Kramer All Rad does the trick. The backhoe has the clamshell bucket on it, but I had to rebuild the reverser in it twice, and it's still not doing the best. He just said it's not moving in second gear, so we're probably going to have to put another reverser in it. Something's going on that I'm not understanding. It's a bunch of friction clutches, and a reverser is all hydraulic driven. So hopefully it's not a problem with something else in the hydraulic line. Now it did get a new hydraulic pump in it, so it can't be the pump's problem. It's something else. So we're gonna sit here and talk about this and see what decision we're gonna make here. It's Saturday, it's probably 3:30. They were calling for rain at 4 o'clock, but he's bringing the Kramer up right now. So we're gonna sit here and discuss this and see what the next move is. I have a brand new one of these. I guess you call them a sewn eye. They have a bunch of holes in them where you can put the ring through. I don't know if I'm going to need the other one because I don't know if this is going to be long enough. Normally what I do is I tie this in a knot like that around the tree so it doesn't slide, or you got to put it in a crotch. Now where my lifeline is, there is a crotch, and I almost cut it out because I wanted to retrieve my pulley saver, and I'm glad I didn't cut it because that will hold that in place. And it is I think it's the last day of June, to be honest. So happy freaking Independence Day, 250 years coming up. Okay, I just finished eating lunch. From start to finish, that took me about an hour and a half, from setting up that green rope and getting up into the tree, tying it all together and back on the ground. And right now I got a drone up in the air that I think is in line with where we're going to be directly pulling this tree from. Yeah, it's probably a little bit off. But I'm trying to make these two rings line up straight like that, which is more towards that silo a little bit, which is okay, because I don't want to be straight in line with the power lines, because I don't want any of these branches touching that telephone pole. So what I got going on here is I got one double ring in this first lead, and then the green rope goes through it into a single ring that comes down and wraps around the union and comes back on the other side of this big branch. That branch is like 10 inches. I couldn't put my redirect in it. This wind is blowing this drone everywhere. I'm not the best operator with this thing. This is my brother's drone. His channel is at Big John. You should go check out his channel. He's got a bunch of cool rebuild projects he does. Let's see if I can get in a little bit closer here on what I got going on. And I'm trying to fly this thing literally right in these branches. So you can see, whoop, that's down. I come down to a safety 8 and I took all the extra and put it behind there, but I also ran it through the knot so that whenever everything binds up, I can come down from the line and pull all that extra out. Now, then I have these grade 800 chains wrapped around it just in case of a barber chair. I don't think it's going to, but I'm putting as much caution into this as I possibly can. And then you come down from there about a foot, and that's about where my notch is going to go. But you can see I still have these other leads I got to cut out of here. So I think I'm going to... Okay, cool, that's on the ground. Now I'm going to clean up all these suckers here, and I'm going to take the work truck. I got to get the bundle of post off of it because we started building a new fence over there. Get that bundle of post off of there, and then I'm going to back it up into here and see if I can just stand on the truck bed here to cut this level across here. Yes, I could do it climbing if I want to, but the problem is I'm here by myself right now. And that's not exactly the safest thing to do. You always want to have somebody here. Start this 461 because I haven't run it in a while. It's a little bit dirty. Let's see what happens here. That was ridiculous. This wood is hinging so crazy. Just holding on. For everything it's got. Yes, it did fall a little bit close to the truck here. I tried getting it to come over the other way, but didn't want to do it. All right, I'm gonna cut this level, go from there. All right, I gotta get all this gear over to the tree here. Now, it's just after 8. It's 80 degrees and it feels like 86. Like, this is freaking crazy heat wave going on here. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna feed the cat silo. I'm gonna give the cows some grain and then I'm gonna start carrying stuff over. All right, I'm putting all the extra on the passenger side of this Kramer Allrad here. That way, if something happens, the driver comes out the driver's side because the control stick's right there. So the driver comes out this way and has a free space to run anywhere that way. The tree is not going to hit this, but if something happens to me in the tree, they're going to take off running towards me and I don't want them tripping. So I'm going to grab this rope here. And that's about tight. So what I'm going to do is I need to get to there. So I'm going to take 1 arm's length, that's to there, and then I'm going to take about, what do you say that is, 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and that's where I'm going to start my knot so that I can get it into this pin here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bite, and I'm going to make a figure 8. But I'm going to take the tag line, because this line goes to the tree. I'm going to take the tag line and make another bite, and I'm going to stick it down inside the figure 8. Kind of like an Yosemite backup. Now that's kind of a bad example because it's not a backup. It's just a way to release this knot when it binds up. So now that goes in there.
Where do you think it's gonna land? That's my point.
That's close to where I said earlier. That's close. See, it's hard.
Be in the high lift?
You're gonna be in the high lift.
Okay.
So it's hard because there's so many twisted branches. You have to tell me what branch is gonna hit where. If you're the best thing to do is to go to the farthest branch out and say that far branch is the one where we're putting the boards.
No, we're putting the board on the highest point on the main tree where the green is.
On that one right there, the closest highest one to us.
If you take the bottom of that tree and you follow it straight up the main branch, not the right break off over
Okay, where all the green is?
there. Yeah.
Okay.
That's one.
Okay, so that's the one where we're guessing.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my guess. Uh-oh.
He's going way over there. Uh-oh.
Right there.
He thinks right there.
Actually, maybe a little closer.
A little closer. Yeah, you got to remember I'm cutting it like 14 feet up. So I don't think it's going to come this far this way. But that's in your line if that's where you want it.
Well, it has to be the exact point, and I'll say this right here.
You say that right there?
That's it. Boom.
All right.
Okay, your turn.
All right. I forgot my 2x4. You switched a lot. There's a good freaking 30-foot difference between where you started and where you dropped that.
Oh, I just got it.
Not allowed to move it. That's fine.
You got a what?
I just gotta make it interesting.
Is that where you want me to? Because I can angle it. I can put my.
Where the rope is.
You want it to land on the rope.
Yep.
Then why did you put that way over there?
What I want, what I get ain't always the same thing.
Okay, so my notch is going a couple feet from the tire. There.
Okay.
Even though that's not fair. It's not fair because I can move the notch anywhere I want.
Move the rope too.
Oh, you can move the rope. That don't mean nothing.
Quit pulling on the rope.
I quit pulling. It still don't mean nothing. All right, 110 lead. Top this off. Now, I get to use the ratchet scrunch for the first time ever. All right, now, hopefully that lined my gun line up.
Where's your gun line?
This is the gun line, this black line right here.
What does that mean?
That's 90 degrees from your face cut.
Oh, okay.
So this is what I have to line up. Dead nuts.
Okay.
Until you hit it.
told me to do something. Don't hurt yourself. That's to hurt your fingers if it hits.
Eventually. Ah, come on.
It needs a little more slack though.
Hold on. I got it. The chips?
Yeah.
They taste awesome.
So
What'd you find?
You found a 4-leaf clover.
I didn't find it. You
For
found
good
it.
luck.
You found it.
So pick it.
I ain't picking it. You pick it. It's yours.
Sean, I found it for you.
It's yours.
I'll give it to you. How about
You found
that?
it.
How about that?
All right, here. Thanks. I'll put it in a book. What do you think?
I think you guys are both lucky.
Lucky.
Uh-huh.
I think that's good. There's a good bit of tension in that thing. And it moved probably about 2.5 feet at the top. I'll cut a little bit and then we'll go from there. I'm gonna be tied into this thing.
I understand that.
What am I gonna do? Hook it up. Ah! All right, go get in the Kramer and then call me. Come on. Hoo-ah! Come on. All right, did you hear me? Okay. We were all wrong. Uh-huh. We was all wrong. All right, come give me my phone. It's on the ground here. I did it! It was a little bit low. Oh, come on, phone. There we go. It was a little bit low, but look how much moisture is on this thing. Like this broke off. It pulled out, but I mean, it's all solid. Wasn't a bad hinge. It might have closed a little bit early because I was aiming way over there and it landed here, but we completely missed all the hay bales and everything. And the giant rock. I'm happy. All right, yes, I did go up and get lunch. I did change my shirts and my undershirt because I was covered in sweat. I think it's like 96 degrees out here, but I just wanted to say, if you've made it this far into this video of this tree, I greatly appreciate it. It has been a couple-day process. I started it last Saturday. Technically, I started it the week before that, throwing lines up in the top of it, whatever. But then I climbed it again on Tuesday. We did a bunch of hay. Had the rope set up, and today is Saturday again. This is the lead that we were all guessing on where it would land. And technically, this one is the closest, which is the one that my dad put in there. I put that one over there, and my mom put this one over here. And honestly, so I had to switch from a 25-inch bar over to my 36-inch bar to cut that. I didn't want to be messing around and trying to sneak back on this side of the tree when all the weight was leaning here. So I switched over to the 36, and when it broke, this top, like I saw it starting to crack, almost barber chair. I told him to gun it, just take it as far as he could. I know I had these great 800 chains set up in here, and I knew that it wasn't gonna go, the barber chair wasn't gonna go up. I felt perfectly safe. But it was starting to go, and I wanted him to get it away from the big rock here. Now you can see how small the hinge is on this side. And then it slowly gets bigger all the way up until this pull out right here. And maybe I did cut a little bit too much and should have had him pull more, but a foot is a foot, you know, like I can live with that. And on top of that, the rock's way back here, and the hay bale's a good 2 feet past it, and then another 2 feet, and then plus, like, when I get back over into here, there's like 8 feet to the rock. And then all this lead, that's like 20 some feet away. So that doesn't mean much. Now, I was going to show, my dad unhooked off the Kramer and he untied that knot. So I'm going to show how I took this lead right here and put it through my safety 8. So you just pull this, and then look, I got a big gap right here. that now I come back over here and pull this out, and then I probably need some slack. Yeah, I'm gonna need some slack off of that to untie it, but this knot's loose now. I can untie that. So I'm gonna fish this rope through here, and it looks like it's off the ground right there, which is awesome. And it looks like it's off the ground up here too. So I can fish this rope from here and pull that. Look at that. Now I got all that slack. Now that rope's free. Somehow that worked out. I did not plan that. Let's see if I can. Look at that. Now I'm gonna get my neck mount to untie this. And look at this. It broke right here at this union. Both unions broke, which means I have a salvageable log that I can get milled if I want to. Let's see where. See, that's in a knot. That's nice and tight. That's choked. And my pulley saver was in this crotch right here on this back side. Now I have no idea where it's at. I don't see it. So it's probably under the tree. And hopefully it's not broken. Is it in here? It's got to be completely under the tree because I don't see it. Right, I got my ropes loosened up here in this safety 8, figure 8, whatever it is. Because I pulled that lead out of here, now I have a finger width. I could just take this rope, slide it down, and untie this. And that knot's out easy peasy. This is choked. Now that's free. This is choked. Now that's free. All right, well, because you won, you have to go over to the Kramer and untie that knot.
I already did that.
What?
I already did that.
How did you like doing that?
It wasn't bad. I was glad you put that extra little loop in there to make it looser, though.
It worked out.
Yes, it did.
That knot came out real nice and easy.
It did.
See if this other one's free. Hey, look, there's my friction saver. Oh, pulley saver. And it's not broken. Yippee. All right, is this free? Hey, look, this one's free too. Look at that. That's freaking awesome. All right, a little bit more to clean up, and I'm freaking done for the day. here we are, almost to the end of this. It's gonna be a little interesting cutting this out, but I'm gonna get to it. I'll get it done. I got a couple more cuts to do on those broken branches, and then I have a nice big log here that I might be able to mill at some point. It's probably gonna have to dry for like 6 years. There's so much moisture in this thing. I'm gonna put it over in the field. We're gonna be good to go. But if you made it this far into the video, I really do thank you for watching. Like, this was a big project. I have just under 200 gigabytes between 3 phones, my brother's drone, thank you Big John, this DJI camera, and there's probably hundreds and hundreds of pictures my parents took. But I just wanted to say, stay safe. It is fireworks season. You don't want to be losing any fingers. Happy Independence Day.